Does opposite really attract? So I grew up with so many people using a thing we learned in science that says that like poles repels, unlike poles attract. And this has become a norm and a thing which people use to explain when it comes to love. Yes, I agree that unlike poles attract, especially when it comes to male-female relationships. And I totally agree with that. But beyond that, does opposite really attract? I have recently been reading books and also hearing so many people talk about this subject in particular. So in this video, I'm going to give an opinionated view. This is going to be based on my own opinions that I'm just going to share whether, in my own opinion, does opposite really attract. So feel free to agree or disagree with me in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash the like button and let's go through this together. I read a book called The Defining Decade, Why Your 20s Matters and How to Make the Most Out of It, in which I have made a video about it where I'll link it somewhere around here. And the author argued that opposite only attracts probably in hookups. And she shares a quote by Aristotle which says that people like those who are like themselves. I was pondering over this, and I mean, let's be realistic. It's only in Korean movies you see a rich guy falls in love with a poor girl and the family tells him, no, we'll not allow you to marry. If arrange another person for you to marry, he says, no, I must marry this one. They disown him, he leaves all the money and goes after the love of his life. I mean, mostly this happens in movies. I doubt if it really happens in real life. The author of this book says that people are usually attracted to certain values and mostly similarity in things like age, in education, in status, in beliefs, and so many other things. So let's try and break some of these things down and explain. Let's start with finances. You see, mostly the rich socializes with the rich, and the probability that a rich person will introduce their children to another rich person's children and something coming out of that thing is very high. I mean, nobody likes a financial burden. Even if there's differences in income, somebody would rather be comfortable marrying someone who can bring something also home, I mean some small income also home, than just marrying somebody who doesn't earn anything. And I can give so many examples out of this. And so you would see that most rich people are marrying rich people. Rich people are partying with rich people, they're socializing with rich people, so they are marrying themselves. Let's talk about beliefs. People are likely to marry people they have the same or similar religious beliefs with. A Christian is likely to marry another Christian because the person wants to have the same kind of community. You want to go to church together with the person, read the Bible or pray together with this person. Same with people. Somebody is there and they're looking for someone they can have intellectual conversations with. The person doesn't want to ask, what's your opinion on this? And you're like, I don't know what to say, you know, those kind of things. Somebody, even if you don't have an opinion on a subject, is curious enough to want to know, or even if you won't go and find out, you turn back and ask the person, so what does this mean? What does it say? So some people, if you cannot have that kind of conversation with them and they're always asking you questions and you don't have an opinion and you cannot contribute, they are probably not attracted to you. Another thing we can possibly use as an example here is character. Nobody wants to marry someone who has bad character. I mean, no one is perfect. We all have bad things in that small. But there are things you can deal with and things you cannot deal with. And nobody wants to be dealing with things they cannot control. There are some people, I mean, nobody wants to be dealing with someone who abuses them. I don't know, but I think nobody wants to be dealing with someone who abuses them. There are some people, when they get angry, hell breaks loose and everything in the house breaks and those kind of things. Another thing we can use as an example is family. There are people who value family systems and they want to marry and have a family and those things. There are people who do not want family. They just want to be there and chill and enjoy life. So if you are someone who values family and you meet someone who doesn't value family, I mean, this thing is kind of not going to work out. That is what I'm trying to talk about. But let's talk about the main thing here, personality. Under personality, let's start with extroverts and introverts. To be honest, I have seen couples that one is extroverted and the other is introverted. But let's look at it at the extreme ends. If you are really extroverted and your partner is introverted, you are probably going to have continual conflicts on how much social events or how much social events both of you should attend or should have. I mean, the extroverted person gets excited about social events, they want to attend parties, and social events energizes them. On the other hand, the introverted person, is not really excited about social events. They care about dinner, intimate dinners, something, a small party with a group of friends, something they can talk to, one-on-one. But social events drains them. So one thing that energizes one drains the other. I was recently listening to a podcast where the interviewer was interviewing, the one he was interviewing has a podcast too that he records daily and posts. And the interviewer was saying that, how are you able to do it? Sometimes when I have a conversation with someone for 2 hours, I just want to go somewhere and think for 4 hours and process that conversation. And the one he was interviewing says that he's an extrovert. After this conversation, he wants to go and meet somebody he can talk to for another 4 hours again. He likes to talk. It's something he gets excited about. These are two people. One says that when he has a 2-hour conversation, he needs to go and sit somewhere to really take it deep, re-energize himself, sit somewhere and process everything. There's another person who sits down after 2 hours of conversation, wants to go and keep talking because that is what they enjoy. And this is where I'm coming from. When there's a trip to be attended, the extrovert might be excited and be wondering why the introvert is not excited. Why are you not excited that we are going for hiking and all those kind of things? An introvert might just want to coil down somewhere and get a book to read. And these are the differences I am talking about. Another thing under personality I want us to discuss is agreeableness and disagreeableness. There are some people who are just agreeable. Anything you say, they would agree with it. Somehow, if you have a partner who is disagreeable, then there's a problem there. The person is asking you that, what do you want for it? It's like, oh, whatever you get for me, I'm okay. And the person's like, can't you pick? Can't you always decide something for yourself? Must you follow what everybody is doing? And so the person who is agreeable is like, why are you being harsh? Why are you being mean? And the person who is disagreeable is wondering, why are you always just following the crowd? Stand up for yourself. Another thing is conscientiousness and non-conscientiousness. If you're looking for a conscientious person, let's say to marry, they are going to work hard, and that's a disadvantage. They are really going to work hard. So if you're the opposite of that, you'll be wondering why this person is working hard, this person is always working. Why are you even excited about work? And that person will also be wondering if they are together with someone who is unconscientious, who is always like, life is not that serious. Who is here to want to work? The person sees you as lazy because you think that, let's relax. Life is not that easy. Nothing is coming to end right now. And the one who is unconscientious is like, relax, why are you working too hard? These are the differences I am talking about. And so in conclusion, though I have said so many things, I think this is just based on where you are sitting at and how you view things. Does that mean you will find someone who is exactly like you? I doubt it. But this is where we come to deal breakers and deal makers, where there are certain things that are a priority to you, and they are the things that if you cannot find in a person, then you think that you have no business with them, and there are things you can deal with. And so if religious beliefs is what is important for you, go for it. If yours is family values, go for it. If another's is intellectual conversations, go for it. But the thing is that it's better to go for someone who also has a similar values as yours, who also prioritizes those things that you are prioritizing. Because if you go for somebody who doesn't really care about religious beliefs and you want them to change, you cannot change people, and you are probably going to end up frustrating your partner. You will want them to change to meet your criteria, but people cannot change. And to an extent, there are even certain things you cannot change. I cannot change my tribe. I cannot change my family. They are a part of me. And so if there are things that you think you don't really like, it's better you go for somebody who meets those criteria than trying to go for another who doesn't meet it and forcing your way to want to change the person and frustrating the person. Another thing is that there are things you can agree to disagree, where there are things that is not really a priority to the person and you don't mind being on a different side with the person. So there are people that political affiliations is not their problem, so they don't mind being with somebody who is of a different political affiliation or different political party, and they can make fun of it and always agree to disagree. For others, it's sports or something. So it depends on your deal breakers and your deal makers and getting to know what are the things that are on the top list of this person. Another thing is that there are people who are looking for people who are opposite them. But from what I have seen and read and seen, I'm leaning towards the fact that yes, opposite does attract, But when it comes to values and certain important things in life, then it's way better to go for somebody who has similar values with you, religious, finances, whatever it is with you, rather than going to pick somebody who you would end up frustrating. If somebody likes to always go clubbing and another wants to stay home, I mean, one will be nagging each other. Why are you always going home? Why are you boring? Let's go in club, those kind of things. But it boils down to each their own, right? I mean, that's how life is. But as I said in the beginning, this is just my opinion and my point of view. Feel free to agree or disagree with me. I actually want to hear your opinion. Does opposite really attract? Leave a comment in the comment section. Please don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.